Hello you one. Today's Friday and it's storytelling time. So as you can see, I'm dressed as a princess today because there's a princess in this story that I'm going to tell you. So I thought I'd make myself a crown. I made it out of a magazine and just cut it out. And I found myself some golden earrings and I found myself a golden necklace. So remember, you don't have to look at the screen to listen to the story. You could stretch out and lie down, close your eyes and picture the story. Get some lovely pictures in your mind. It's called The Frog Prince. So, long ago, a princess lived in a castle, as they do, with a huge garden that sloped down to a pond. A little pond that had lily pads in it and bulrushes round the outside. So one day the princess decided that she wanted to play with her golden ball. Now, I don't have a golden ball, but I did find a ball. So I'm going to be the princess playing with my ball. La 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 la. I'm going down to the pond to play with my ball near there. And she skipped off down, throwing and catching her ball as she went and kicking it along too. And then she started to walk around the pond throwing her ball. What do you think might happen? You're right. Oh dear, my ball has fallen into the pond. It fell in with a plop. Can you go plop? Damn it! She stamped her foot crossly. What am I to do? She said. And just then a green speckled frog with smooth shiny skin appeared on one of the lily pads in the pond. He looked a bit like this. Hello you one. And the princess immediately said to the frog, "Ah, you little ugly frog, you must retrieve my ball that has fallen into the bottom of the pond." That's a bit rude, isn't it? Well, the frog was very genuine, croaked, "Of course I can retrieve your ball from the bottom of the pond, because I am an expert diver. But in return, you must do something for me. You must let me into the castle. You must let me eat off your golden plate and drink out of your golden cup and let me sleep in your princess bed." Princess thinks, how utterly ghastly. I won't want to do any of that. "Well, just get my ball from the bottom of the pond and I want you to get it now," she said rudely. "Don't waste any time." Of course I agree. She thought he'd forget about the promise and wouldn't want to come all the way up to the castle. So the frog plopped off his lily pad, plop, down into the murky waters, dived down to the bottom of the pond, and straight away saw her ball. Grabbed hold of the ball and swam up, and then sat on the lily pad. "Well, I can't reach it there," said the princess. "You need to hop out of the pond and give it to me right now." What a rude girl she is. So the frog kindly obliged. He hopped on the lily pads and out onto the water and gave the princess her ball. La 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 la. Off she skipped away with the ball. She didn't even say thank you. Oh, here's a froggy. "Don't forget my promise," he said, but she'd long gone by then. So as the sun set, the princess grew weary and ambled her way back up the path to the castle at the end of the day. She opened the big heavy wooden door of the castle, let herself in, climbed up the stone steps of the castle and into the big hall of the castle, where there was a long table covered with food, a feast fit for a king. There were sandwiches, jam sandwiches, and what else would you put in your sandwich? Yes, and there were fruit, piles of fruit on golden bowls and golden plates. There was apples and oranges and pears and bananas and peaches and pineapples, and what else could there be? I'm sure you've got other fruit ideas. And of course there was jelly. What else would a princess have on her feast table, and a king? All that food too. The king sat at the head of the table. "Have you had a good day, my dear?" "I've been playing with my ball," she said, but she didn't mention the frog. It wasn't long after before they sat down for their dinner when there was a knock at the door. "Well, who might that be at this time of day?" said the king. He strode off down the steps to the front door, opened the big heavy door, looked left and right, couldn't see anybody. And then he heard a little voice. "Oh, king, your princess. I saved her ball today. I fetched it from the bottom of the pond, and she promised me some things in return. She said I could eat off her plate, drink out of her cup, and sleep in her bed." And the king said, "Well, that is very kind of you, young frog. Of course she must repay you and keep her promise. Do come in." So in hopped the frog, hop, hop, hop up the steps, and arrived at the long feast table. Sat next to the princess. "Oh, what are you doing back here?" "Remember your promise," said the frog. I must eat off your plate." And the king said, "Of course you must keep your promise, young lady. Let him eat off your plate." The frog hopped onto the plate and ate the sandwiches and the fruit and the jelly, licking his long tongue as he ate. Princess, not a very nice face she had. "And my second promise, I must drink out of your cup." And she pushed her golden goblet, and he dropped right down into the cup and slurped up all the juice and sat at the top of the cup and hopped back onto the table. "Well, I'm very tired now, so I'm going up to my bed." And she got off her chair and walked up the long steps, took off her clothes, put on her nightie and hopped into bed. Well, you know what's happening next. She was just dozing off when the door of her bedroom opened, and there was a little hop, 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 hop. And all of a sudden, the frog croaked, "Don't forget your last promise, little princess. I must sleep in your bed." "Oh no, I really don't want you to sleep in my bed," she said. "But, well, you promised." "Well, if you must, hop up." And she turned her head away like this. And just then he gave her a little kiss on the cheek. And she had to give him a little kiss on the cheek. And as soon as she did that, the frog disappeared. And in his place was a handsome prince. "Princess, thank you so much. I had a spell cast on me years ago, and the only one who could break the spell was if I was kissed by a princess, and now I am the handsome prince that I always have been." "Oh, you are a handsome prince," said the princess. "You shall marry me then." But the prince said, I have no wish to marry such a rude and ungrateful lady as you. I shall return in a year to see if you have changed your ways. And he went downstairs and he jumped on a horse and he rode off into the sunset, leaving the princess mouth aghast like this. Well, I don't blame him, do you? She was a rude young lady. I wonder if she learnt her lesson and changed her ways and became kind and grateful. What do you think? Do you think he will come back? What do you think will happen? The end. So now you can tell your story to anyone you know, your sister, a brother, a cousin, an uncle, a granny. Maybe you can tell your story to even a teddy. And you could make a crown if you've got a magazine or some paper to cut. Have a lovely end of your day and have a lovely half term and see you after the holiday. Goodbye, year one.